The stars looked different today. Olivia Harlow noticed this as she sat in the captain's chair on the bridge of the EDF horizon. 6 years in space, and the view still took her breath away. But today, something was off. A new light blinked where none had been before. "Scan that sector again," she ordered, pointing to the strange light on the main screen. Lieutenant Kate Miller pressed buttons on her console. "Captain, sensors show a large object moving toward us. It's not in our database." Olivia stood up. This was strange. Every ship, station, and satellite was in their system. "How big are we talking?" "Massive, ma'am. At least 3 times our size, maybe more." The bridge grew quiet. The EDF Horizon was one of Earth's largest ships. Nothing should be that big out here. "Show me," Olivia said. The main screen changed. At first, Olivia thought the image was broken. The object looked like a giant crystal, with smooth sides that seemed to change color as it moved. It glowed with a soft blue light that pulsed like a heartbeat. "Is it a ship?" she asked. Kate shook her head. "Unknown, Captain. It doesn't match any known designs. But it's slowing down and changing course. It's coming toward us." Olivia took a deep breath. First contact. These were the moments that made history books. Alert Earth Command. Tell them we've found something. Send all scan data. Then open a channel on all frequencies. "Channel open, Captain." Olivia straightened her uniform. "This is Commander Olivia Harlow of the Earth Defense Fleet Ship Horizon. We come in peace and wish to establish communication." Nothing happened for a long moment. Then the bridge lights flickered. The main screen went dark, then lit up again with a new image. A woman stood there. At least she looked almost like a woman. Her skin was pale, white with a shine like pearls. Her eyes were large and deep blue without white parts. Her hair looked like silver threads that moved on their own. She wore something that might have been armor or might have been part of her body. It was hard to tell. "Earth vessel," the woman said, her lips not moving with the words. Somehow, Olivia heard the voice in her head rather than with her ears. "I am Princess Neriel of the Luminari Empire. Your ship has entered our territory." Olivia felt her heart beat faster. Their territory? All maps showed this area as unclaimed space. "We apologize for any misunderstanding, Princess. Our records don't show this region as claimed by any race." The alien woman's head tilted slightly. "Your records are incomplete. Your species is young. We have watched you for many cycles." A chill ran down Olivia's spine. "Watched them? For how long?" "We would like to learn more about your people," Olivia said carefully. "Perhaps we could arrange a meeting to exchange information." The princess was silent for a moment. Then, "Yes, this would be acceptable. Prepare to receive visitors." Before Olivia could ask what that meant, the screen went dark again. "Captain," Kate called out. "Something's happening in the transport room." Olivia rushed to the elevator with 2 security officers. When they reached the transport room, a swirl of blue light filled the center. The light took shape, forming into 3 figures. Princess Neriel stood in the middle, taller than she had appeared on screen. Up close, her skin had patterns that moved under the surface, like tiny stars flowing through space. 2 guards stood beside her, their bodies covered in what looked like crystal armor. "Commander Harlow," the princess said, this time her mouth forming the words, though the sound still felt strange in Olivia's mind. "Your ship is primitive, but interesting." Olivia stepped forward. "Welcome aboard the Horizon, Princess Neriel. We're honored by your visit." The princess walked around the room, touching equipment with long, thin fingers. "Your technology is basic, yet you've managed to travel far from your home. Impressive for such a young species." "Thank you," Olivia said, not sure if it was a compliment or not. "May I ask why you've come to this sector? Our scans haven't detected your ships here before." The princess turned, her eyes seeming to look through Olivia rather than at her. "We are moving our people. The old territories are no longer safe." "Not safe?" Why? A shadow passed over the princess's face. There are things in the dark between, stars that hunger, things that consume worlds. We call them the Void Collective. They have taken many of our worlds already. Olivia felt cold. And they're coming this way? Yes, they follow us. They will find your world too in time. One of the security officers shifted nervously. Olivia shot him a look to stay calm. If these Void Collective are a threat to Earth, we need to know more, Olivia said. Our leaders will want to speak with you, the princess nodded. This is why I have come, to warn you, to prepare you. Your weapons will not harm them, your shields will not stop them, but we can help you. In exchange for what? Olivia asked. Nothing was free in space, she had learned. The princess smiled for the first time. It was beautiful and terrifying at once. Smart, Commander. Yes, we need something in return. We need a place for our ships to rest. A planet with certain minerals. And we need allies who can fight. I'll need to contact Earth Command before making any agreements, Olivia said. Of course. The princess moved closer, until she stood directly in front of Olivia. She was at least a foot taller. But know this, Commander, the void comes whether you agree or not. They hunger for all life. We offer the only chance your people have to survive. Olivia looked into those strange blue eyes, and knew the princess was telling the truth. Something was coming. Something terrible. How long do we have? She asked. 3 of your months? Perhaps less. Olivia nodded. Then we better get started. The princess's mouth curved into another smile. I think I will enjoy working with you, Commander Harlow. Your kind has fire in them. We will need that fire in the days to come. As Olivia led the aliens to the conference room, she couldn't shake the feeling that Princess Neriel wasn't telling her everything. The way the alien woman watched her felt too personal, too interested. There were secrets here, buried beneath, beautiful words and warnings. But with a threat coming toward Earth, did those secrets really matter? Or was any ally better than facing the darkness alone? They came without warning. One moment the skies above Earth were clear. The next they were filled with ships as black as the space between stars. They didn't reflect light. They absorbed it, creating patches of darkness against the blue sky. In the command center beneath Geneva, Olivia watched as screens showed the invasion happening in real time. Cities around the world looked up at the same terrible sight. The Void Collective had arrived. Status report, she demanded, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her chest. Lunar colonies have gone dark, reported Lieutenant Sam Walsh, her fingers flying over control panels. Mars outposts still responding but under heavy attack. Orbital platforms 1 through 4 are holding, but 5 through 7 didn't get the shield upgrades in time. They're gone. Neriel stood beside Olivia, her normally perfect posture now rigid with tension. The princess manipulated a holographic display showing Earth's defenses, her long fingers moving with practiced grace. The collective is focusing attacks on population centers, Neriel said. Standard tactics. They feed on fear as much as flesh. Feed? Olivia asked, her blood running cold. A figure of speech, Neriel replied, but her eyes didn't meet Olivia's. More reports came in. New York under attack. Beijing surrounded. Sydney burning. The Void ships didn't use weapons Olivia recognized. Instead, they released clouds of what looked like black smoke. Wherever the smoke touched, things simply disappeared. Buildings, vehicles, people, all gone, leaving nothing behind. The shields on platforms 1 through 3 are working, Sam said, a hint of hope in her voice. The black matter can't get through. Divert all power to those shields, Olivia ordered, and get our people to the protected zones. It had been the plan all along. If attack came, civilians would move to areas covered by the orbital shields. But there hadn't been enough time to cover the whole planet. Hard choices had been made about which cities to protect first. Your people fight well, Neriel observed as reports came in of Earth fighters engaging the Void ships. The human pilots were executing a maneuver that seemed to confuse the enemy formation. Most species surrender within hours. Sam shot the alien princess a cold look. We're not going down without taking half of them with us. A sudden alarm blared through the command center. Red lights flashed on all screens. "They've found us," Olivia realized. "Evacuation Protocol Alpha. Now." The command staff moved quickly, grabbing essential equipment. They had practiced this drill dozens of times. The Geneva bunker was supposed to be undetectable, but they had prepared for the worst. The first explosion rocked the facility just as they reached the escape tunnels. Dust fell from the ceiling. The lights flickered. "They're breaking through. Faster than expected," Niriel said, her voice still calm. She turned to Olivia. "We must reach my shuttle. It's our only chance now." "What about my people?" Olivia demanded. Before Niriel could answer, the wall beside them burst inward. Through the dust stepped 3 figures. They looked almost human, but their skin was black and seemed to shift and move like smoke. Their eyes were empty white circles. "Void infiltrators," Niriel whispered. What happened next happened so fast Olivia could barely follow it. The jewelry Niriel wore, bracelets, necklace, the small tiara in her silver hair, suddenly moved. The crystal pieces flowed like liquid, covering her body in a gleaming armor. In seconds, the princess was encased in a suit that made her look more machine than person. She moved with impossible speed, reaching the first infiltrator before it could react. Her hand, now covered in crystal armor, punched straight through its chest. The creature made no sound as it fell. The second managed to raise a weapon, but Niriel was already there, twisting its arm until something snapped. The third tried to retreat, but a spike shot from Niriel's armor, piercing its head. In less than 10 seconds, all 3 infiltrators were down. Niriel turned back to Olivia, her armor retracting into jewelry again. "Now," she said, as if nothing unusual had happened. "As I was saying, we must reach my shuttle." Olivia stared at her. "What are you?" "Later," Niriel said. "We have no time. I've received word that Luminari reinforcements have arrived earlier than expected. With your tactical knowledge of Earth's defenses, we might yet save your world." Olivia looked around at the wounded humans being helped by others. "I won't abandon my people." Niriel's expression softened. "You misunderstand, Commander. I'm not asking you to abandon Earth. I'm asking you to help me save it." Sam stepped forward. "Go, Captain. We'll get these people to Shelter Zone 3. It's still under shield protection." Olivia hesitated, then nodded. "Keep them safe, Lieutenant." "Always." "Do," Sam replied with a tight smile. Olivia turned back to Niriel. "Lead the way." They moved through tunnels that shook with distant explosions. Twice more they encountered void infiltrators. Each time Niriel's jewelry transformed into armor, and she dispatched the enemies with frightening efficiency. "You've been holding back," Olivia said as they ran. "Your people are warriors, not just refugees." "We are many things," Niriel replied, "as necessity demands." They reached a hidden hangar where a small crystal ship waited. Unlike the larger luminary vessels, this one was barely big enough for 2 people. Its surface rippled like water as they approached. "It recognizes me," Niriel explained as a doorway formed in the side of the ship. Once inside, the ship sealed itself around them. There were no controls Olivia could see, just 2 seats surrounded by crystal. "How do you fly this thing?" she asked. Niriel placed her hands on the crystal arms of her seat. "I am the control." The ship lifted off, moving through the hangar, roof as if it were air rather than solid concrete. Outside, the sky was chaos. Void ships battled with Earth fighters. In the distance, larger ships had appeared, the Luminari reinforcements Niriel had mentioned. "Your people came," Olivia said. "I told you they would," Niriel replied, "but we may be too late for some parts of your world." Through the crystal hull, Olivia could see the devastation below. Entire cities were gone, replaced by empty darkness. Others still fought, protected by the orbital shields. "How many will die?" she asked quietly. Niriel didn't answer immediately. When she did, her voice was gentle. "Too many, but not all. Not if we succeed." The small ship accelerated, passing through Earth's atmosphere and into space. Ahead, a massive battle raged between Void and Luminari ships. Neriel guided their vessel through the chaos with incredible skill. "Where are we going?" Olivia asked. "To the sanctuary," Neriel said. "The last safe place in this part of the galaxy. From there, we can coordinate a counterattack." "And what about Earth? What happens to it while we're gone?" Neriel turned to look at her, blue eyes serious. "Earth as you knew it may not survive this day, Commander, but its people will. I promise you that." As their ship jumped to faster than light speed, Olivia looked back one last time at the blue planet that was her home. She wondered if she would ever see it again. And if she did, would she even recognize what was left? The Astral Crown was unlike any ship Olivia had ever seen. Its halls were made of the same crystal-like material as its outer hull, but here the walls seemed alive, pulsing with soft light that changed color based on who walked past. For the Luminary crew, the walls glowed blue. For Olivia, they turned a curious amber. "The ship responds to your energy pattern," explained Neriel as they walked through a long corridor. "It recognizes you as different, but not as a threat." 3 months had passed since first contact. Earth leaders had been quick to form an alliance with the Luminari after seeing proof of the Void Collective's destruction. Now Olivia served as Earth's military representative on Neriel's ship, a position both prestigious and lonely. "And if it did see me as a threat?" Olivia asked. "The walls would turn red," said Neriel, "and the floor beneath you would open." Olivia couldn't tell if the princess was joking. That was the hardest part of working with the aliens, understanding their intentions. They looked almost human, but thought in ways Olivia couldn't grasp. They entered a large room where many Luminari gathered. It was some kind of party to celebrate the new alliance. Tables held strange foods and drinks. Music played from nowhere, a sound like wind through crystal chimes. "Your Earth representatives will arrive soon," Neriel said. "I must prepare. Please enjoy the gathering." Left alone, Olivia walked among the aliens, nodding politely when they noticed her. Few spoke to her directly. Most watched with curious eyes, then turned away to whisper among themselves. Olivia found a quiet corner where she could observe the room. She noticed Neriel speaking with another Luminari, a tall female with darker skin who wore armor instead of the flowing robes most others had. The conversation seemed tense. Olivia touched the small device in her ear, a translator Earth had developed to understand the Luminary language. "Cannot delay much longer," the armored woman was saying. "The shields must be fully installed before their arrival." "I am aware, Seraphine," Neriel replied. "But we cannot rush this. The humans must believe they are equal partners." "Equal?" Seraphine scoffed. "They are barely space-capable. Their only value is their planet's position and their use as a buffer." Olivia felt her chest tighten. A buffer? What did that mean? "Be careful with such talk," Neriel warned. "The humans are more clever than you give them credit for." The conversation ended as more Luminari approached. Olivia turned away, not wanting to be caught listening. A buffer. The word echoed in her mind. Were the Luminari using Earth as some kind of shield? Later, when the formal ceremonies ended, Olivia made her way to Neriel's private chambers. The guards at the door hesitated before letting her pass. Inside, the room was beautiful. Crystal formations grew from the walls and ceiling, catching light and breaking it into rainbows. Neriel stood by a large window that showed the stars outside. She wore simpler clothes now, her silver hair loose around her shoulders. "Commander Harlow," she said without turning. "I sensed you would come." "We need to talk," Olivia said, keeping her voice even. "I heard something interesting at the gathering." Now, Neriel turned, her blue eyes studying Olivia's face. "The translator in your ear. I should have known." "Are you using Earth as bait?" Olivia asked directly. "Is that what this alliance is really about?" Neriel was quiet for a long moment. Then she sighed, a very human gesture. "Come, look at this." She waved her hand and the window changed to show a star map. Small lights moved across it. Ships, Olivia realized. "The red lights are our remaining fleet," Neriel explained. "The black voids that seem to eat the stars are the collective. Watch." The map began to move, showing the past few years. Olivia watched in horror as black spaces grew larger, swallowing stars and red lights alike. 17 of our systems gone, Neriel said softly. Billions of my people consumed. We are not the first race they have destroyed. We will not be the last. And Earth? Olivia asked. Where are we in this? Neriel touched the map and it zoomed in to show Earth's solar system. You are here at a junction point between major space lanes. The Void Collective will come to you no matter what, with or without our help. But you're not being honest with us, Olivia said. I heard. Your captain. We're just a buffer to you. Yes, Neriel admitted, surprising Olivia with her honesty. Earth's position will delay their advance by exactly 47 of your days. Time we desperately need to gather our remaining forces. Olivia's hand moved to her gun. You're using us as bait. I'm offering you the only chance your species has for survival, Neriel countered. Without our technology, the Void would consume Earth in hours. With it, you have a chance to fight. And in the time you buy us, we can prepare a counterattack that might save us all. Why didn't you just tell us this from the start? Olivia demanded. Neriel stepped closer. Would your leaders have agreed? Would they have believed the threat was real? Or would they have wasted precious time arguing among themselves? She had a point. Earth's nations had taken weeks to come to a unified decision even with the evidence they'd been shown. Our alliance benefits both our peoples, Commander, Neriel continued. Yes, Earth will bear the first attack, but the defensive technology we've provided gives you a fighting chance. Without us, you would have no chance at all. Olivia wanted to be angry, but she couldn't argue with the logic. From now on, I want the whole truth. No more secrets between us. Neriel's lips curved in a slight smile. Is that how allies speak to each other on Earth? With demands? It's how I speak to people who expect me to trust them with my planet's survival, Olivia replied. To her surprise, Neriel laughed, a sound like tiny bells. You continue to fascinate me, Commander Harlow. Most species cower before us. You make demands instead. Get used to it, Olivia said. That's how humans are. Indeed. Neriel moved to a small table and poured 2 drinks from a crystal bottle. She offered one to Olivia. To honesty between allies, then. Olivia hesitated, then took the glass. The liquid inside glowed faintly blue. What is this? We call it star water. It's harmless to humans. I had your medical team test it. Olivia took a small sip. It tasted like honey and something else she couldn't name. Warmth spread through her body. The Void Collective will reach Earth in less than 30 days, Neriel said, her voice more serious now. We've installed our shield technology on 3 of your orbital platforms, but it's not enough. We need to work faster. Then we better get started, Olivia said, echoing her words from their first meeting. As she left Neriel's chambers, Olivia couldn't shake the feeling that there was still more the princess wasn't telling her. But with the Void Collective approaching, did she have any choice but to trust this alien woman? The fate of Earth might depend on that trust. Or it might be doomed because of it. Only time would tell. The battle for Lumina Prime lasted 3 days. 3 days of constant alarms, of running from one crisis to another, of watching brave Luminari ships face the darkness and disappear. Olivia worked alongside Neriel, coordinating defenses, developing new tactics to counter the Void's attacks. On the second day, Olivia suggested targeting the Void ship's communication systems. They move too perfectly together, she explained, pointing to battle footage. It's like they share one mind. If we disrupt that link, they might lose coordination. Neriel's eyes widened. Of course, we've been attacking their hulls, their weapons, never their communication nodes. The strategy worked. Luminari ships began firing precisely calibrated energy bursts that disrupted the Void Collective's hive mind. The black ships became confused, sometimes firing on each other or flying into Luminari traps. By the end of the 3rd day, the Void fleet retreated. They hadn't been destroyed, but they'd been pushed back beyond the Orion arm of the galaxy. It wasn't a final victory, but it was time. Time the Luminari desperately needed. During the battle, work continued in the memory chamber. The quantum duplicate of Earth neared completion. Technicians worked in shifts, refining details, ensuring every atom was in its proper place. After the void retreat, Niriel disappeared for 3 days. Olivia was told the princess was participating in an important ritual that required isolation. Without Niriel, Olivia felt strangely alone despite being surrounded by thousands of luminari. When Niriel finally returned, she looked different. Her crystalline features seemed softer, more human-like. Her movements were less fluid, more deliberate, as if she were consciously trying to move in a way Olivia would find familiar. "The quantum Earth is ready," Niriel told her as they stood on a balcony overlooking a vast crystal garden. "We've found a suitable planet in a nearby system. The manifestation process will begin tomorrow." "What will happen to the original Earth?" Olivia asked, the question that had haunted her for weeks. Niriel's expression grew sad. "The latest reports show only 12% of the surface remains under shield protection. The rest has been consumed by the void." "I'm sorry, Olivia." It hurt to hear, but Olivia had expected it. No world had ever fully resisted the Void Collective. "And the people in the protected zones?" "We're extracting as many as we can," Niriel said. "Our ships are bringing survivors to smaller sanctuaries. Later, they can join the Quantum Earth if they wish." Olivia nodded, trying to accept that the world she knew was gone. "So what happens now?" "Now we restore your world," Niriel said, "or at least a version of it." The next day, Olivia watched from an observation deck as luminary ships surrounded a planet that looked remarkably like Earth. It was slightly smaller, its continents shaped differently, but it had blue oceans, white clouds, and a single moon. "The base planet must be similar enough to support Earth life," Niriel explained. "But the surface will be completely reformed during manifestation." The process was unlike anything Olivia had ever seen. Beams of light connected the luminary ships, forming a net around the planet. The light grew brighter until Olivia had to shield her eyes. When she looked again, the planet had changed. The continents had shifted, forming the familiar shapes of Earth. "Now for the details," Niriel said. The next phase took hours. More ships joined the formation, projecting finer beams that painted cities, forests, mountains, and oceans onto the surface. It was like watching Earth being built piece by piece. "And the people?" Olivia asked. "Last," Niriel answered. "Their patterns are the most complex, the most precious." When that final stage came, the entire luminary fleet glowed with power. Energy flowed from the sanctuary to the ships, and from the ships to the newborn Earth. Olivia watched through a special viewer that showed the process at a microscopic level. Humans appeared where there had been nothing. First their physical forms, then the electrical patterns of their brains, their memories, their very souls, if such things existed. "It's done," Niriel said at last, as the ships powered down. "Earth lives again." A week later, Olivia stood on a balcony overlooking the Pacific Ocean of the new Earth. The water was exactly as she remembered it, the same color, the same sound as waves crashed against the shore. In the distance, she could see the rebuilt Sydney, its buildings gleaming in the sunlight. Niriel joined her, wearing a simpler outfit than her usual royal attire. "How does it feel to be home?" "Strange," Olivia admitted. "Everything looks perfect. But knowing what happened to the original, the people here have all their memories up to the moment of duplication," Niriel said. "For most, that means they remember the void ships appearing but not the destruction that followed. They believe they were evacuated in time." Olivia watched seabirds flying over the water. "A kind lie. Sometimes kindness requires such things," Niriel said softly. They stood in silence, watching the ocean. Finally, Niriel spoke again. "My council expects me to maintain oversight of Earth's restoration," she said. "Traditionally, this would mean installing a luminary governor to ensure stability." Olivia tensed. After everything, would Earth still not be free? "However," Niriel continued, producing a small crystal that hovered between them, "I am proposing an alternative arrangement." The crystal expanded, revealing intricate patterns that somehow Olivia recognized as a genetic blueprint. Half human, half luminary. In my culture, this is how we propose marriage, Neriel explained, her eyes scanning Olivia's face for a reaction. It would make you co-regent of both Earth and the luminary territories. Olivia stared at the hovering crystal, understanding both the political implications and the personal commitment being offered. Are you doing this for political expediency, or is there something more? She asked carefully. The alien princess grinned, the expression startlingly human on her crystalline features. You're proposing to me? Did you just do that without the customary human genuflection? For the first time since the void ships had appeared over Earth, Olivia laughed. The sound seemed to delight Neriel, whose skin rippled with patterns of light. I believe I did, Olivia replied, reaching for the princess's hand. Though I think we've reversed quite a few customs between us already. As their fingers intertwined, the quantum particles of the restored Earth seemed to shimmer more brightly, as if recognizing that humanity's future would now be forever linked with the stars. In the months that followed, Olivia and Neriel worked together to merge their cultures. The people of Earth learned the truth gradually, that their world was both new and old, a second chance born from destruction. Many struggled with the philosophical implications. Were they the same people who had lived on the original Earth, or just perfect copies with the same memories? Does it matter? Olivia asked during a public address. We are who we remember being. Our experiences, our loves, our hopes, those are what make us who we are, and those remain unchanged. Most accepted this view eventually. Life continued. Cities grew. Children were born, including some with both human and luminary parents, a new species that carried the best of both worlds. And far away, beyond the Orion Arm, the Void Collective regrouped. Someday they would return, hungry as ever, but this time they would face a united front. Humanity and luminary together, with shared technology, shared purpose, and shared love. Olivia thought about this sometimes, standing on her balcony, with Neriel beside her. The war wasn't over. Perhaps it never would be. But they had won something precious: time, hope, and each other. Do you ever regret it? Neriel asked one evening as they watched the sunset. Joining your fate with mine? Olivia smiled, squeezing her partner's hand. Never. Some things are worth crossing galaxies for. The crystal pendant at Neriel's throat glowed in response, reflecting the light of a sun that was both new and familiar. Just like the world it shone upon and the love that had saved it. The Luminary Sanctuary wasn't a planet or a ship. It was both, and neither. As Neriel's small vessel approached, Olivia struggled to understand what she was seeing. It looked like a small planet covered in crystal structures. But the whole thing moved through space like a ship. Welcome to Lumina Prime, Neriel said as they drew closer. The last refuge of my people. Their ship passed through a shimmering barrier that Olivia guessed was some kind of shield. Inside, the sky was filled with thousands of luminary vessels of all sizes. Some were damaged, showing signs of battle. How many of your people are here? Olivia asked. Nearly 7 million, Neriel answered. All that remain of a civilization that once numbered in the billions. The ship landed on a crystal platform that extended to meet them. When they stepped out, Olivia felt lighter than on Earth, but heavier than on the moon. The air smelled sweet, like flowers she couldn't name. A group of luminari waited for them. They bowed to Neriel, then looked at Olivia with curious eyes. The humans survived, one said, sounding surprised. Commander Harlow is our guest and ally, Neriel replied, her tone leaving no room for argument. She will be treated with all respect due to my personal companion. Olivia raised an eyebrow at the word companion but said nothing. There would be time for questions later. They were led through crystal hallways to a medical facility where Olivia's injuries were treated. The luminary doctors used light instead of tools, passing beams of different colors over her cuts and bruises. The pain vanished instantly. Later, Olivia was shown to quarters adjacent to Neriel's royal chambers. The room was beautiful, with walls that changed color based on her mood and furniture that shaped itself to her body when she sat down. Rest, Neriel told her. Tomorrow we have much to discuss. But rest didn't come easily. Every time Olivia closed her eyes, she saw Earth burning, her people dying. She wondered about Sam and the others in the Geneva bunker. Had they reached the shield zone in time? Morning came, or what passed for morning on a world ship with no sun. Neriel arrived, with food that looked strange but tasted like fresh fruit. Your body is adapting well to our environment, the princess observed. Many species struggle at first. I'm not here for comfort, Olivia said. I need to know what's happening to Earth. Neriel nodded. Come with me. She led Olivia to a large room filled with crystal orbs floating in the air. Luminary technicians moved among them, touching orbs that then displayed images from across the galaxy. Our observation network, Neriel explained. It allows us to see events in real time, even at great distances. She touched one of the orbs, and it expanded to show Earth. Olivia's heart sank. Large parts of the planet were covered in darkness, areas taken by the Void Collective. Other regions still glowed with city lights protected by the orbital shields. The battle continues, Neriel said. Your people fight with remarkable determination, and our forces have arrived to help. Olivia watched as luminary ships engaged, the Void Collective in Earth's orbit. The crystal vessels fired beams of light that seemed to push back the darkness. Can they win? She asked. Not win, Neriel said carefully, but perhaps hold long enough. Long enough for what? Instead of answering, Neriel led her to another part of the sanctuary. They entered a vast chamber where hundreds of luminari worked at crystal consoles. In the center of the room stood a hologram of Earth, perfect in every detail. What is this place? Olivia asked. We call it the memory chamber, Neriel replied. It is where we preserve what would otherwise be lost. As Olivia watched, the hologram of Earth changed. The darkness covering parts of the planet disappeared, revealing the land underneath, whole and undamaged. I don't understand, Olivia said. Your species processes grief differently than mine, Neriel observed, her eyes on the hologram. We Luminari experience it as a collective consciousness. Your individualized suffering seems more intense. Olivia looked away from the perfect image of Earth. Is that why you keep your distance from other species? To avoid feeling our pain? Neriel's features shifted subtly. Perhaps. Or perhaps we fear becoming too attached to worlds we cannot always save. She guided Olivia to a console where a luminary technician worked with intense focus. The technician's hands passed through streams of light manipulating data Olivia couldn't read. When we first encountered your world 3 months ago, Neriel explained, we began creating what we call a quantum duplicate, a perfect copy of Earth, down to the smallest detail. Olivia stared at her. A copy? Of the entire planet? Yes, and everyone on it. The implications hit Olivia like a physical blow. You can copy people, their minds, their memories? In a way, Neriel said. We capture the quantum state of all matter on a planet. When we rebuild it, everything returns exactly as it was at the moment of duplication. Including people, Olivia whispered, with all their thoughts and memories. Yes, the unique composition of human consciousness makes it particularly compatible with our duplication process. Olivia struggled to understand what this meant. So you can restore Earth? Bring back the people who died? Not the original, Neriel clarified. That Earth is still fighting, still suffering, but we can manifest the quantum duplicate we've been building since first contact. Your people will live again, though they'll carry the memory of their destruction. Olivia felt dizzy with the metaphysical implications. Would they be real? Or just copies? Neriel took Olivia's hand, her touch sending strange sensations through Olivia's skin. As real as you and I. The question is, will you help me lead them? Over the next weeks, Olivia learned more about the Luminari and their technology. She discovered they had been fighting the Void Collective for centuries, losing ground steadily. The sanctuary was their last stronghold, a place where they preserved the essence of worlds lost to the darkness. Each day, Neriel visited Olivia's quarters. They would review battle reports from Earth, where the fight continued. The news grew worse with each passing day. More territory lost, more people gone. "Your world fights longer than any we've seen," Neriel said one evening as they watched footage of human fighters attacking a void ship. "Most species last days, yours has held for weeks." "That's humanity for you," Olivia said with bitter pride. "We don't know when to quit." They began working together on a plan. Using Olivia's knowledge of Earth's defenses and Neriel's understanding of the Void Collective, they developed new tactics. The luminary ships above Earth adjusted their strategies, focusing on protecting the remaining shield zones. Slowly, Olivia came to understand the true nature of the Luminari. They weren't simply refugees fleeing destruction. They were guardians, preserving the essence of civilizations consumed by the void. For millennia, they had fought a losing battle against the darkness, saving what they could. "Why didn't you tell me this from the beginning?" Olivia asked Neriel one night. "Would you have believed me?" Neriel countered. "Would you have trusted us if you knew we had the power to copy your entire world?" She had a point. Earth's leaders would have been suspicious, perhaps hostile. "And now," Olivia asked, "what happens when the duplicate Earth is complete?" "We find a new home for it," Neriel said. "A planet similar to Earth where we can manifest the duplicate. Your civilization will continue, even if the original falls." "And what about us? The ones who know the truth?" Neriel's eyes met hers. "That depends on you, Commander Harlow, on what you want your role to be in this new world." There was something in the way Neriel looked at her, something beyond the alliance between their peoples. Olivia had noticed it growing stronger with each passing day. "And what role did you have in mind for me?" Olivia asked carefully. "One that would keep you by my side," Neriel answered simply, "if that is what you would want." The invitation was clear. Olivia wasn't sure how to respond. Her feelings for the alien princess were complicated. Respect, gratitude, fascination, and something more she wasn't ready to name. Before she could reply, an alarm sounded throughout the sanctuary. Neriel's jewelry flashed with light. "What is it?" Olivia asked. "The void has found us," Neriel said, her voice tight with fear. "They followed us to the sanctuary." As warning lights flashed around them, Olivia realized their time had run out. The final battle was about to begin, not just for Earth but for the last remnant of the Luminari civilization as well.